What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner review, and today is the day. Xenogears is here. I know a lot of you guys out there have been waiting for it, so let's see if the wait was worth it, or if we kind of waited a little bit too long. So first up on the banner, we have Faye, which is going to be a 5-star base going up to 7-star monk-type unit, physical damage dealer. Looking down at the TMR, we have Power of Id, which is going to be attack and defense 20%. If you have clothes on, it's going to be 30% more attack, meaning attack 50%, defense 20%, and then an MP recovery. Amazing TMR. Definitely want to throw that on people that have clothes on and, you know, get some extra attack out of your attack damage dealers if you can fit it in, along with getting some MP recovery there. I know a lot of people out there don't have crazy STMRs, and this is pretty good for a TMR on its own. His STMR is Phase Martial Wear. Big HP stat, attack 30, defense 25, spirit 25. So a lot of, you know, it's got some offense and then also has some defense, which is great, defensive stats. And then it has increased attack 50% when equipped with a fist. Incredible for any kind of fist user out there, and very niche in that way, but still pretty good. I wouldn't write it off immediately, but I also wouldn't be chasing it because this is limited time. Moving on down through his abilities, Faye actually has a lot of abilities you can see through here. We have a lot to go with, and one of the things I do love, and you guys have probably been using it all this time, is this new filter, because Faye does have the ability to cast a lot of these, a lot of his moves twice. And this new thing on the wiki is you can just click it and it shows you which abilities this applies to. So Death Blow combo, you can use twice in one turn. Now we can see all the abilities he can cast twice in a turn, which is great. Looking down at his abilities, we do have some breaks, some MP recovery, nothing too crazy going on through these abilities here. We move on down to his 7-star abilities. We have a Big Bang, which is going to be his cooldown ability. Magic damage 10 times with spirit scaling to all enemies. Decrease defense and spirit by 50% for 3 turns to all enemies. We can't cast that till turn 3. So it's going to be kind of like a big finishing move if you'd like to use that. We do have fire physical damage, and also it's like magic with spirit scaling. I guess like for a monk, spirit and attack kind of go together, I guess, in a way if you think about it, but not in FFBE land, all right? It's hard to build. Fire physical damage, so he has a lot of different abilities that are going to do a certain element type of damage, and it's going to imperil. So we have fire, earth, wind, and water, light, and then we also have his biggest ability, which is the one you're going to be spamming if you're using him, which is Yamikai. Dark physical damage 8 times. This is where his global buff came in. They buffed this up, I think, by 1 time, which really isn't that much. I don't know what they were, like, it's not that big of a change. It also has an imperil in it with 50%, and then it's absolute mirror of equity chain, AT chaining. A lot of units out there have this now. Not that hard to chain, actually, physically on your own with your fingers. Pretty good there, but it is with the dark damage. So we do have some users out there. Sephiroth, for example, comes to mind that you can chain with. But again, not going to be the greatest when we move into higher damage dealers. Dark is going to be left behind a little bit there. We do have Awakening as his other cooldown ability, available in turn 4. 3-turn cooldown if you have turn to use it. Increases attack by 250%. Attack, defense, magic, and spirit. Increase LB gauge by 5. And enables Death Blow to be cast. And Death Blow, if we go ahead and click it down here, he has triple cast. And he can triple cast all the same abilities that he can double cast. And the way to activate that so far that we've seen is by using this cooldown ability here. So he does have the ability to triple cast, which is going to be great. But his multipliers are just too low. And he's dealing with an element that a lot of units want to be using. Looking over his, you know, his different passives here, we have some to all the stats 20%. He has the ability to ignore fatal damage. It's half of the time, 50%. He has to be above 40% when he goes down, but that's always great to have on a unit. We have attack, defense, HP, and MP going up by 10%. Increase attack 20% when equipped with a fist, and increase equipment attack 100% when single wielding any weapon. So he has 100% so far, true double hand in his kit. Autocast destructive impulse at the start of battle. Increase physical and magic against mechanical monsters. So he's going to beat up all them Gundams and take them down. Physical or magically, he has 50% innate in his kit. Some more HP and MP recovery in his kit as well. Blind, paralyzed, confusion, disease. Okay. Where's that paralyzed at, though? Where's that paralyzed at? Or not paralyzed, excuse me, petrify. Petrify. We need that petrify. So you're going to have to put that on him, it looks like. His TMR equipped, and his TMR is amazing. It's a materia. Increase attack 40%, increase equipment attack 50%, so he has 150% innate true double hand, along with 100% magic and physical damage killers against machines, so he's going to be pretty good against machines, I'd say. Increase attack, defense, and spirit 30%, increase LB damage 30%, increase attack 20%, and then we have some multipliers that go up to the abilities, but again, these are actually big. 2.5 times is pretty big, but again, if we're talking about his big chaining ability, it's going to be Yamikai, and if we look down here, Yamikai is not included on this for whatever reason. I mean, I think Tifa has higher I don't know. It's pretty low. Personally, they could have buffed that up to at least 11 times, in my opinion. I don't know what they're doing. Destructive Impulse, which is going to be the, he starts at the beginning of battle. Oh, excuse me. Destructive Impulse is not what gives him the physical and magic damage. That's part of the passive, but the actual cast upon is what gives him, increases attack by 100% to caster. So when he starts the turn out, he's going to be able to cast 100% to himself, so he's going to start out buffed by 100% to attack anyway. Then again, if we use Awakening, which is his cooldown ability, or Chi Combo, which is going to be his limit burst, we're going to be able to get some triple casting in. If you guys would like to know, go to Exvius Wiki, go ahead and click Filter, and it'll show you all the abilities you can cast, but it does include Yamikai, which is going to be his best ability there. Moving on now, Chi Combo. Physical damage 20 times to one enemy. It's pretty big. Decrease fire, water, wind, light, earth, and dark resist by 80% for 3 turns to one enemy. Costs 36 LB, and it's a 23 chain, so it's a pretty big chain, and then it enables for 2 turns to cast your Death Blow, allowing you to triple cast. So, overall, I think Faye is just not strong enough to really warrant you chasing after his 7-star. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of uses, and I think he's going to be strong enough to get in there and do a lot of the trials we have released now. He is going to be power creep pretty soon by another physical damage dealer, an Axstar, as you guys know about. And then on top of that, more and more come out. He'll keep getting weaker and weaker. But if you guys are Faye fans out there, that's how you're going to use him. You're going to go in there, you're going to triple cast, double cast, use his LB, and then use that Yamikai ability to, dish out the damage if you can. All right, the next 5-star base on the banner is going to be Bart. 5-star base going up to 7-star. Looking at the TMR, Death Adder, we've talked about this. Gives you Machine Killer, and it's 135 attack whip. Pretty high at stats. And it has a great killer attached to it. We have a lot of Machine Killers in Global, though. But you're going to have to be able to put a whip on to be able to use it, so that might be a little bit of a, negative there. And then we have Margie's Wish. It's going to be 60% attack, 100% LB fill rate, and then we get physical and magic mechanical killer. So that's going to be great. I think this STMR is fantastic, very good. It's going to be hard to obtain, again, getting 4 of a unit, but much more stellar than, let's say, Phase is, in my opinion. I think this has a lot more uses, because you can go into magic damage dealers or physical damage dealers and use this, and pretty much have a great effect with it there. So again, like I've talked about with Bart before, he's going to be a debuffer, a breaker, and then he actually is going to imbue a lot of the elements that you guys may want to get a hold of. He does cover Kingsglaive, Tornado, Flood, Chaining if you would like. He doesn't do massive amounts of damage, but he is going to be able to use that if you need help with Chaining. He has that in his kit. He also has the ability to become 100% targeted, so he does have a 100% provoke if in any case you guys may want to build him up tanky and try to get him to take a big hit for you or something like that, or you could build him 100% evade and he could be your provoke tank, perhaps single target. Something you guys can look into. Moving on down, he does have 1, 2, 3, 4 different elemental abilities that he's going to be able to cover and imbue with. So these all go to all of them, just replace the different elements with what I'm saying. So we have earth, wind, water, and fire that he can imbue, which is a pretty nice, coverage there. Fire being a bigger one that a lot of people use. He's missing out on lightning, which I think is pretty big. But add fire element to physical attacks for 5 turns to an ally. So you have to single target select someone. They get 5 turns. Refresh MP 200% split over 5 turns to all allies. So he has MP recovery in his kit as well to give to everybody. So he has a little bit of support. Increase LB gauge 5 to 1 ally. So you're imbuing on top of the fact you're giving everybody MP over the next 5 turns. And then you're also giving that imbue of that element for 5 turns, which is pretty nice. He has an ability here that increases everybody's LB fill rate by 200%, and also negates a physical damage taken for 3 turns to all allies. Now, this may seem pretty niche, but that could be pretty useful in coming. You never know when you're going to need to dodge out a physical attack. A big one maybe. So this is going to be useful there. Also getting everybody's LB up is great. We do have 2 different cooldown abilities. Protect Nissan, which is going to be available turn 1, 4-turn cooldown if you count the turn you cast it. Increase attack 250% to caster. Increase attack, defense, magic, and spirit. Break resist for 4 turns to himself. Heal 12,000 split over 4 turns to himself. That's HP. MP is 320. And increase LB gauge 28 to caster. So if you cast this, you go down to his LB, he can cast his LB immediately. Alright, so if you cast this, the next turn he can use his LB. So keep that in mind. The next cooldown ability is going to be AT chaining. So on top of the other 3 that I've already talked about, Bart is going to be able to AT chain. This is going to be a big one. You have to wait till turn 2. Physical damage 12 times to an enemy. AT chaining. This is a way he can chain up in there, maybe on top of being the support and imbuer that he is. Every once in a while, he can get in on that chain and do a little bit of damage, which is great. Just going on past all his passives. The one thing I'm looking for here is maybe a double cast. It doesn't look like he gets it, though. I was really looking for that, because what I'd like to do is be able to double cast these imbues, because it really sucks to where, like, I guess in this scenario, you could take your own unit that doesn't have an element attached, take a friend unit that does, use a two-handed weapon that doesn't have an element, you know, imbue on turn 1 and then chain it up. That's something you guys can get looking into. You do get a lot of MP recovery, but again, it kind of sucks when you can't double cast these things to maybe put on yourself in a friend unit, or maybe 2 of your damage dealers that you want to take without an element in their hand. Now that's just that's just a little bit of a backswing on that. You know, not too big. That's okay. He can break earth and wind resistance, so that's a couple more things he can add to his kit. So it seems like he has some really niche uses, right? Because he can become a provoke tank. He can imbue all these different elements, which really isn't niche, but that's just something else he does. He has some MP and HP recovery, MP recovery for everybody, and then he can also kind of like chain it up with AT chain to do a little bit of damage. So, you know, not the worst unit in the world. Moving on down through his passives, we do have some physical evasion, 30%. So that adds to the whole thing of him becoming your single target physical tank, and then also being able to do all those other things you may want in your party. Has some fire resist, some HP, some defense, HP, MP, recover 5%, increase 30% when attack with a whip, which is TMR, which you're going to have on. Autocast Red Cologne. At the start of battle, so let's see what Red Cologne is. Increase attack 80% to caster, so he's going to buff himself by 80% attack. Increase MP 20%, defense, spirit, and HP 20%. And then he also has 50% magic and physical machine killers in his kit here. Enable dual wielding of one-handed weapons, so he can be a dual wielder, it looks like. So you can have the whip in his hand, so you are going to want to put the whip in his hand. We already have 80% passives here, plus his TMR equipped, which is going to be the whip. As we looked at ahead of time, you're going to want to have that on so you get all these passives, right? Increase resistance, sleep and confuse, noise. Increase LB damage 30%, okay. Then it autocast left-eyed bond at the start of battle, so let's see what that is. Increase LB gauge by 10 to caster. So, at the start of the game, start of the battle, you're just going to have 10 up on your LB, and it was 28, correct? So you need 18 more to be able to cast that the next turn, so you possibly could get that, depending, or you could be casting Protect Nissan as a way to... I'm pretty sure Nissan means brother. Let me know in the comments below. I'm pretty sure Nissan's brother, so Protect Brother. You guys are going to be able to cast that if you'd like. At start of battle, you're going to have 10 there. So you either fill it all the way up on the first turn, which I actually wouldn't recommend. I don't like that too much. Or you have 10 at the start and you slowly build it up. Let's see. Increase equipment attack. So he does have 60% true dual wield, which is great in his kit there. So he's going to be a dual wielder. He's not going to be a double-hander. Increase modifier Bracer. Increase modifier to Angel, Land Break, Prominence, and Tornado Xenogears. So you guys are going to be able to go in there and do a little bit more damage with him if you do use these abilities. So again, he does do a little bit of physical, a little bit of breaking, a little bit of imbuing, a little bit of supporting. He's kind of all over the place. Increase HP 20%, increase attack 50%, and increase LB fill rate 150%. So his LB, perhaps we're building up to his LB, so let's read what that does. He has physical damage 16.6 times to all enemies. Decreased defense and spirit 74% for 5 turns to all enemies. So he has a big break. That's where he got his JP buff. It was 70%. Now it's up to 74%. Now, one of the things here is, the first thing I want to notice is that he is not going to replace one of your breakers on your squad. He is not specifically a breaker in terms of attack, magic, defense, and spirit. You know, Orin, 2B, all of them. That's not what he does. He's more of a support. Again, he's kind of like a jack of all trades, but he's doing some of them pretty good. An imbuer. He has lots of things. Just look over this unit. See if you would like to have him. He does get stronger when it comes to his enhancements, from what I understand. Becomes a pretty good support breaking debuffer unit. But for right now, I think it's kind of a little mediocre, missing a little bit of punch with the way the meta is. So if you get Bart, you know, he has all these uses. Find a spot in your team if you can. But if not, don't be too upset if you end up missing him. And last but not least, the big unit on the banner, Elly. I'm sure you guys have heard of her. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about her if you don't care about Xenogears. Going to be a huge magic attacker when it comes to the meta here in Global, and was in JP as well. Magic damage dealing unit. First up, TMR is Psycho Rod. Attack 32, magic 120, and magic 20% added on top of that. That's going to be a passive there. Great TMR. Again, you guys can get all these TMRs I've mentioned already from the raid for Xenogears, so that's going to be an easy way for you guys to obtain these without using your TMR Moogles. Mother's Return, going to be the best STMR on the banner, in my opinion, with the best unit, which is great. Increase magic 60% when equipped with a rod, and then also you guys get fire, water, earth, and wind resist 60% on top of that. Incredible STMR. You guys probably already can look at this and have your mouth watering at how great that is. So if you can get 4 Elly, I know it's going to be tough, but you pretty much want 2 Elly anyway on this banner. This is the unit you guys want to be chasing after, unless you're just going for TMRs anyway. Scrolling on down through her abilities, she does have wind, earth, fire, and water, it looks like. So there's going to be the 4 elements she's going to be messing around with, okay? She has defense breaks 50%, spirit breaks 50%. She does have the ability to cast these, like, I would say lower tier magic abilities and imperil each of their elements by 60%, which is great. Again, she has the ability, if she has her TMR equipped, without her TMR equipped, we have double ether, which is going to be double cast. But if she has her TMR equipped, it's going to be triple cast, allowing her to always be triple casting. As long as you're probably going to dual wield and put Psycho Rod and something else in her hand, probably more than likely. We haven't looked at her passives yet to see about that. But so again, triple ether, cast all these different abilities. You can even cast this one right here, which looks like a big magic damage dealing finishing move. In that triple cast, which is going to be great. That's amazing to look at. Now, her biggest damage dealing abilities and her biggest sell point is this one right here. This is the one that got changed with global. Wind magic damage, earth magic damage, fire magic damage, water magic damage. Okay, that's what all of these different abilities right here do. And then they have consecutive uses. They go all the way up to a 14.5 times multiplier, which is extremely high, and it's AoE. Now, in Japan, they did say that this was supposed to chain with Chaos Wave. That's what everybody thought, but when she came out, she had different startup chaining frames, so it kind of made it funky and didn't really work. Well, apparently it's fixed in global. Let's hope so. So if you're watching this video today and you already have her, or you've seen some other people, they either it works or they're going to have to fix it because that's what they advertised it as, is it working with that. So good thing about that is it means you can go right in there and start chaining up, because these are all finishing moves. If you look, 1, 1, 1, 1. The chaining move is this move right here in the Nemo wave. It means you're going to be able to go there and chain with a lot of different Chaos Wave members, and that's becoming a huge, like, that's becoming the magic, you know, what Divine Rotation was, but this is for magic, or the AT chaining to physical, this is what it is. The magic is the Chaos Wave. But the problem is, again, it has wind attached to it, right? So, unless you're chaining with another Elly or somebody that has Chaos Wave that has wind attached to it, it's going to be tough because you're not going to be elemental chaining. So that's one of her drawbacks. One of her non-drawbacks, though, is this ability right here, Paradigm Shift. Available turn 1 is going to be a 4-turn cooldown, you know, after you use it on turn 1. Refresh MP 240 split over 3 turns of caster. So when you cast this, possibly after the 5-turn cooldown, you're going to get a lot of MP back. Enable skill for 2 turns of caster. Quintuple ether. So let's go down here to quintuple ether. What does that mean? 5 times in 1 turn. And yes, you can use the Chaos Wave or any of these different abilities here. And then you can also just throw in this ability down here. So you guys are going to be able to cast 5 of these bad boys in 1 turn, right? That's insane. That's insane. It's so much damage. We were all like, we were all thinking of forecast or whatever. That's great. That's amazing. Quintuple is even better, and that's what she's going to be able to pull out. She can dish out so much damage after casting this ability. And then also on top of that, not only do you get that, she decreases fire, water, wind, and earth resist by 100% for 3 turns to all enemies. AoE 100% in peril built into this ability. Very, very great. Very, very strong. Love it. So again, imperiling huge and then doing massive damage the next turn. Then we were talking about this ability here. You can't use it until turn 3, and then it has a 3-turn cooldown. It increases your LB gauge, and then on top of that, it does a big magic damage finishing ability. It's not elemental, but again, if we want to chain it in, we can and use it with her casting here. Moving on down through her passives, we have Magic and MP, Spirit, recover 10 MP per turn. She's going to need that with all that triple casting. And then also, you know, the 5 times per turn casting she does every once in a while. Increase magic 30%, HP and MP 20%, increase magic 40%, and Spirit 20. Oh my gosh. So we're already at 90% right here, it looks like. Resist to sleep, silence, confuse. All right, we need paralyze and petrify. You guys can get that through other means. Increase magic 30%. She does have 50% mechanical magic killer, which is great, and she has physical, but for her it's going to be magic. Increase magic 30%, so more magic. Look at these magic passives. She has so many. She has so many. And MP 20%. Increase fire, water, wind, and earth resistance by 30%, which is great. Every turn she gets 2 of her LB, so I'm hoping her LB is massive. We'll find out. Increase magic 20%. Another magic up. Man, this broad can do a lot of damage. Elly can do a lot of damage. Increase LB damage 50%. Increase equipment attack 40% when single wielding, so that's the true double hand magic build, or with dual wielding 40%, so it's going to be the dual wielding magic build. So it's really going to be up to you what equipment you have and how you can mix and match to make your best Elly. If you have a lot of true double hand build with magic, you're going to have to put her rod in her hand. Remember, we're going to have her rod equipped to do her passive, which is weird because I don't see one here. I wonder, I hope this isn't messed up on the wiki here. Give me 1 second. I just want to verify here. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, so after doing a little research, it looks like her TMR only affects, it doesn't give her anything else but giving her triple cast, which I'm saying only, but you really want to have that on. So when you're doing the true double hand build for magic, if you're doing that, have her rod equipped, because if not, you know, you're going to miss out on triple casting, which is something you want to look into. And then we have some 2x modifiers to Anemo Bolt, Aqua Ice, Terra Lance, and Thermo Cube. So let me look up here. Anemo Bolt. Let's see. Let me see. Does it say Anemo Bolt? Am I reading this wrong? Anemo Bolt. Where's that? Anemo Bolts. Bolt. There it is. All right, that's the very beginning one. These are the little ones here. Not that big of a deal. Not something you're probably looking into too much to be casting, but we do get some modifiers put up on there. Now, looking at this about LB, all right? Magic damage 20 times to all enemies. It's a big one-hit finishing move, so it doesn't mean you have to have some other Elly to be able to use it. Increase magic 150% for 3 turns of caster when you cast this, and she has all these. She has LB damage up here. LB gauge is going up 2 per turn, so you're going to be able to fit this in anyway. Big damage coming in here. It has no element attached to it, which kind of sucks, but that's but in some cases it could be really good. So overall, okay, let's talk about Elly here. Elly is fantastic. If you don't have Sophia, Elly's going to be your new magic damage dealer. Hands down, that strong, that powerful, and can kind of keep up with the meta as we go on. Now, will there be stronger magic damage dealers down the road? Yes. But Elly's going to be able to do that. Now, if you have Sophia, pump the brakes a little bit. I think Sophia is a little bit more versatile than Elly is. She has different chaining, different elements she can use with the Chaos Wave. Elly can pump out a lot more damage, like, instantly, but I think over time, I do believe Sophia kind of starts equaling that out. However, they're both powerhouse babes when it comes to magic damage dealing in the current global meta, so if you have one or the other, you end up having both. Hey, hats off to you, because you have 2 amazing magic damage dealers, and you should be pretty happy about it yourself. All right, guys, so what do I think about this banner? I think it's definitely pullable, even for free-to-play, pay-to-win, Dolphins. You know, have fun. If you love Xenogears, get in there. The TMRs are great. 2 of the units, I think Elly and Bart are definitely useful from now, and even a little bit future-proof with their enhancements, and Elly is just going to be a strong mage to begin with. Now, did it take too long for them to come out? I'm not a believer in that, personally. Like, we are a little bit delayed, I'd say about a month or 2 at least, and that's at least. But in the end, Elly is still, it's not like when Axstar or, you know, another magic damage dealer that's a little bit stronger than Elly comes out. It makes Elly any worse. It doesn't. Elly is still just as strong as she was before. She can beat all the trials you were going to be able to beat with her a couple of months ago anyway, and you guys can still make it work with Elly. She is powerful. Now, there are going to be people out there who don't feel that way, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your unit's not going to be the strongest ever for, like, you know, many months to come. I'm sorry that they're pushing it kind of close to what we think Axstar's release is going to be, so you're going to have to decide which one of your Lapis is worth it more for somebody like Elly. But if you're missing a magic damage dealer, Axstar's physical, all right? They, you know, sometimes you're going to need magic damage dealers, and Elly's going to be there for you. So another one coming up, I do believe, is Ultima, is going to be, I think, Final Fantasy Tactics, I do believe, which is going to be a strong magic damage dealer. So there's a couple choices you guys have. Look in the future, decide for yourself. But overall, don't let anybody take away how much fun and how much awesome Xenogears is, and have fun for yourself. And I do believe it's worth it, especially because of the TMR. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if Elly is your favorite or you're going with Sophia. I'm a Sophia girl myself. Star Ocean for life. And then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.